watched them back?
Yeah, I have.
What's your thoughts now after that?
It's probably similar to Saturday, and when we do have the privilege, unlike the referee in real time, but when we have the privilege to watch it back from different angles and everything else, I'm quite content with the statement that I made on Saturday, that we felt that there was one penalty, but there were three that wasn't.
I think we find out pretty soon if there's going to be any retrospective punishment for Jermaine Defoe regarding the second penalty. Do you think there should be?
I don't, actually, and I said that on Saturday as well, and I would stand over that, where I feel Paul is starting to commit to a tackle. I think Defoe sees that, Paul then withdraws, but Defoe is still expecting the contact. I think the contact doesn't come, but he's already probably committed himself to thinking the contact's come. I think it's the speed at which he bounces back up again that would say that he didn't feel it was a penalty or wasn't asking for a penalty.
Everyone's given their opinion about how we can try and assist referees, either making full time or inevitably VAR will be introduced. If VAR was in place for Saturday, how many of those penalties do you think would have been given under VAR?
I just think the first one, would have been given, and I don't feel, as I said, the second one for me, there's no contact. The third one, and people are still talking about whether hands or where they're at. The key thing is his hands are in front of his body, so straight away, it's not a handball in footballing terms, because he does not gain an advantage by where his hands are placed at that point in time. So whether he's in or out is irrelevant from that point of view. And the final one, he's well outside before he plants and jumps inside. So yeah, for me it would be 1 out of 3. But I do think in the heated atmosphere that it is, and when a referee and linesman, you have to make spur of the moment decisions, I think the ability for them to take stock, get a view that we can get, would hopefully bring the same outcome.
You're very measured now. You're measured then in Saturday. How difficult is it to be that measured when the stakes are so high for you guys? Yeah,
highly frustrating, and I think it was the longest ever waited before I come out and spoke to the press on Saturday after the game to try and make sure that it remained that way, because and I'm not into hanging people out today, I'm not into that aspect of it, and I get where our fans are at, I get the frustrations that people feel, but for us, we queried the Brad Lyons booking because we felt we could get something tangible back out of that, which was he would be available for the next round of the Cup. And for us to go making complaints and letters and all that sort of stuff now, it's not going to change what happened on Saturday. I don't see them replaying the game, or I don't see them saying hold on and we'll run that one again. So with that, I don't think there's a huge amount to be gained from our point of view by throwing our dummy out of the pram.
Have you had any talks with John Fleming or MD from
No, I haven't.
You just want to move on from it, take it easy?
It's not that I want to move on, it's not that I'm delighted with the outcome of Saturday, but I suppose I'm in football long enough to have a bad beat here and there, and bad, I suppose, luck, call it what you want, at that point in time. But and again, I'm just not sure where that VAR, the agreement that VAR would be brilliant, I'm not sure what else it would be to be gained from that conversation.
What do you do to sort of put out your minds and forget about it going into what is a big game midweek?
Yeah, we've moved on very quickly, and as much as it's still out there in the press and everything else, the focus yesterday and today has very much been on looking forward and not looking back and feeling sorry for ourselves. So we've a massive game tomorrow night, and one that we're looking forward to, and I think there was big positives, particularly our first half performance, and up until probably the second goal went in, I thought there was a huge amount good about our performance and encouraging about our performance on Saturday, and I think it's those characteristics that we want to see again tomorrow night.
Motherwell have started after the break pretty well so far. What have you made of them? They seem to have almost changed their style slightly after the January break. Yeah,
they have, and they've hit that run probably that we're all craving down there. I think if we could hit 3 or 4 games unbeaten, it would make a huge it would have a huge impact probably on our league position and how things look at this point in time, and Motherwell have been able to go and do that for 3 or 4 games, and again, it's something that we would love to be able to do as well.
I know you managed to get the win against them earlier in the season, but is it a case of, can you look at that because there's been so many changes here and also changes at Motherwell?
Not really, but as you say, because it probably changes at both clubs, and as you say, Motherwell have changed slightly in the way that they go about it as well. So it's a fresh script, and it's one that we've got to be ready for.
Is the approach here, say after contentious issues or a weekend where you're not happy as a manager, is it different to what you've experienced in Ireland?
I'd say it's probably more magnified here, obviously, because there's more probably media coverage, and it's rolled on probably for a little bit longer. But I very much am of the line that I'm absolutely happy to go and do something if I feel that there is something to be gained out of it. But as I say, we made a point about it on Saturday. We tried to make it as fairly as we could, but in the same stretch, as I say, I don't see. Sadly, I don't see anything changing, and we've too much to play for at this point in time than to look behind us.
I was saying there, you've got a bit of a run of fixtures. I mean, you've already had a couple of hard ones, but you've got an informed Motherwell Scottish Cup tie coming up at the weekend as well, and then Hearts Aberdeen still to come as well.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's great. No, they're coming thick and fast. That's on the back of Celtic away, Rangers away, and Hibs at home. So it's been great from that point of view. And I suppose what a baptism for a lot of the new guys as well to find their feet and I suppose understand what Scottish football is all about. So no, it's great, and that's why we're here, and we want to embrace them and go and now try and hit a good run of form.
You mentioned that you've seen signs of improvement in the first half. You're hopeful that you're going to see more of that as the season progresses with this new group of players? Yeah,
and I think if we'd have sat still and sat on what was already here, I think it was going to be very hard to swing and very hard to turn. And yes, people, you can call it a gamble, you can call it a punt in relation to that we've had a huge turnaround in players and everything else. I'm happy with the quality that we've brought in and the type that we've brought in. The key thing now, as you say, is that ability to gel and hit the ground running and very quickly get used to what's a tough and competitive league.
Any team news at all in the
No, I think we're all the same as Saturday, so yeah, clean bill of health.